Hey, you all, this is your favorite domestic violence expert, Rosa James, and I'm here to talk about my podcast or my mission or purpose I want to do with We Are Not Invisible. Like I stated earlier, Black women tend to get missing, right? When we talk about domestic violence, when we talk about sexual violence, when we talk about gender-based violence and femicide in general, it's like we're missing in all of this, right? So We Are Not Invisible is to highlight Black women, and Black women is to highlight Black girls, Black trans women, and this is a Black space. So I'm not gonna apologize for it being a Black space because there's not that many Black spaces. There's not that many Black women who are domestic violence experts or sexual violence experts or human trafficking experts, but this space is for Black women. And I ask that everyone respect that when you come to my videos, when you come to my YouTube channel, just respect the fact that it is Black women driven, because we need to be highlighted. We need to talk about what we go through. And what makes me, and this is personal, I am not invisible either, right? What makes this so personal to me is because, yes, I'm a researcher, I'm an evaluator, I'm a clinician, a practitioner, and an advocate of domestic violence. I'm an expert. I have all this knowledge base, but what makes me the best at it is I'm also a lived experience expert. And this lived experience expert is not an intimate partner violence relationship. I have my own story too. So that's what makes me so good at what I do, because not only have I researched it, not only have I taught it, I lived it. And as the year goes on, I am going to start disclosing part of my own story, because I think it's time that y'all know, like, hey, Rosa has her own story too. I often felt in high school as invisible, right? Because one thing about Black girls that do well in school, and Black girls who make good grades, Black girls who play sports, the all-American Black girl, right? No one ever talks to us and say, hey, what's going on with you? They don't see anything odd with how we move, or they don't never ask us like, hey, would you like a mentorship or things of that nature? Because just like they perpetrate Black women as strong Black women, when it's the Black girl who's doing so well, they feel as if, nah, she don't need nobody to help her either. So I'm going to start talking about that, and We Are Not Invisible, because I felt I was invisible, right? I felt that a lot of staff, a lot of coaches, they never really asked me about anything, because, the grades were fine. Did what I was supposed to do. Wasn't sneaking out the house, parents showing up. But I do have an essay that's been published called White Picket Fences of Perfection. And that essay got so much attention by the author of the book is because she said, we never thought about this. I'm like, yeah, behind all the smoke and mirrors, behind all the white picket fences, behind all you wanting to know, like, oh man, I want to be, I wish I had that and I wish I had this. Sometimes what you wish for ain't really what you want. So I'm going to start highlighting that as well. But I also want to start off and kick off the definition of domestic violence as I'm transitioning, right? I'm always going to go back to this definition of intimate partner violence. The definition is a pattern of coercive behaviors to gain and maintain control over your partner. A pattern of behaviors to gain and maintain control over your partner. And these behaviors are planned attacks. These aren't random. People who are abusers feel as if they have the right to have control over their intimate partners and everybody around them. These people are dangerous people. And I honestly say, in my life, I don't have any more of them in my life. Like, if I feel as if you are a power and control person, or I feel as if you may have narcissist tendencies, or I've seen you do it, X'd off. I don't even leave an explanation. I just walk off. And I need more Black women to do that, right? Stop. We as Black women, we want to justify these behaviors, right? You be on that first date with that man and he does something weird. Like, you open the door too fast, or you close the door a little too slow, and he starts yelling at you like, don't slam my door and stuff, like little stuff like that, right? I don't even want to talk about the love bombing, because love bombing has been talked about way too much. I want to talk more about those subtle signs that we as women, specifically Black women, that we try to like say, you ignore this, or I can long term, I can deal with this. This doesn't seem like a problem, but it is a problem, right? You have to really understand that this is a personality that this person has, and they're not going to change because they don't see anything wrong with behaving that way. They expect control, and they will do all types of stunts to test you in the first 6 months. Actually, the first week, they'll do all these stunts to test you in your tolerance level. And I feel as if Black women, we get so caught up in not being chose because we are Black women. We subconsciously just say, it wasn't that bad, or I'm being dramatic, right? We're talking about all these stereotypes in Black feminist theory. I'm just being overly aggressive. I'm being too masculine, or I'm just acting too quick. And no, stop second guessing yourself. In 2026, I want you all to know that your definition of a relationship is healthy. It should be healthy, and it should not involve power and control. You are the leader of you, right? And one thing I want Black women to understand, when we start participating in relationships, we have a right to autonomy. We have a right to autonomy. We have a right to our standards. We have the right to set boundaries. We have all these rights that other women have too. And we need to start exercising them in 2026, because the data shows, the data don't lie. Dead bodies don't lie. If you keep ignoring these behaviors in the first week or 2 weeks, if you keep saying, well, I really don't know where he work at, but he brings money, so I'm gonna just keep dating him because he makes good money, like, y'all gotta stop. Because what ends up happening is you get to a place where you can't leave. You get to a place where you decide not to leave because why? Right? And when I talk about domestic violence and I talk about Black women, I want to give a disclaimer, and I'm always go back to this disclaimer as well. When I speak about Black people and Black women and intimate partner violence, that doesn't mean that Black people are inherently violent. That does not mean Black men are inherently violent. No, people are violent. Specifically in America, like, this place is weird. I just really, it's a tough place. So although I'm talking about Black women, intimate partner violence, domestic violence, I want you to understand it's in the context of racism and oppression and system-based. We don't have the time in 2026 as Black women to die anymore like this. We're being unalived. We're dying because of the stress in the nervous system of being in these relationships. We're dying of cancer. Your nervous system and that cortisol and your stress and your trauma response can bring out diseases that were dormant for you, that you were never meant to have. But if you continue to participate in this cycle of abuse, not even with just men, just your life in general, we keep participating in that stuff, y'all not gonna make it to 60. My mom died of breast cancer at 56 years old. Out of her sisters, she's the only one that was in a long-term marriage very young. I believe she met my father when she was 19, and my dad was like 28, 29 years old. And she stayed married for almost 30 years until her death. Her oldest sister divorced her husband, right? Lived way past 60. My other two aunts, who never married, they are healthy at 70 plus years old. And my other aunt, she didn't marry her partner until later in life. Like, they had been together for a long time and they just decided, okay, it's time to get married. And although Black women have a 4% less chance of getting breast cancer than any other race of women, we have the highest death rates. And it's so confusing how her other sisters did not get they did not get breast cancer, but she did. My grandmother had breast cancer, married long term to my grandfather. She died of breast cancer around 51, 52. My mom died at 56. But her other sisters live way past 50s. And it's something to be seen there. It's something there that even my family don't even talk about. They don't want to talk about it, but it's a reason why my mother died so young and her mother died so young, but my other aunts are still here. And a lot of that is what your nervous system can handle, and what that stress and what that constant flight or fight mode brings out. Also, I'm tired of my Black sisters having heart attacks at 40, having heart attacks at 35, having strokes, having high blood pressure. We have to take a step back as Black women and understand that all of these factors, even domestic violence, is causing our health to decline. So as I end this video, I want to do the outro. I want you to understand, in 2026, as we go into 2026, are you going to put yourself first and say, I want to make it past 60 and I'm going to take the steps to do that? Or are you going to sit in the same activity that your unhealed self has been doing? That trauma is in front of you, and that trauma that's in front of you that's making decisions is killing you. It's killing you. In 2019, I made a decision to take my therapy and trauma therapy seriously. In 2019, I said, I want to live past 40. And because I took that time out and did what I need to do mentally, physically, and spiritually, here I am, 43 years old. And I'm going to be 44 next year. But I promise you, this is personal. Like I said, I'm on my outro. If I did not stop in 2019, in 2019, if I didn't started taking my life seriously, my mental health seriously, and pushing that trauma to the back of me, it's still here. It follows me. But it's not in front of me making all the decisions. It's not coming up and defining who I am, defining my self-worth, defining what I have to bring to the table, not defining my purpose or nothing. And once I cross that rainbow, my baseline has had me in a place to be on court TV, right? Y'all saw that. I put that out there. If I didn't go through that process, I wouldn't be able to sit on that stand and do so well. Even though we did not win that case, I sat up there in Law and Crime and Court TV, thought my testimony was so impactful that we need to highlight this that day. But I would have never in my life gotten to that point if I didn't sit my ass down in 2019. This was the summer of 2019. Sit my ass down, accept what happened to me, and process it. From 0 to 36 at the time, I think I was. Sit down and process it and do the work. Most likely, if I didn't unalive myself, I would have been in a relationship where somebody did. Or I would have had a heart attack. I would have had a stroke. I would have had something was going to happen if I didn't take it seriously. So, like I said, we are coming up on 2026. I guess this actually did become my first episode because I didn't know I was going to be on here for 15 minutes. but I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and this is going to be my first episode of We Are Not Invisible, and letting you know, hey, I'm not invisible either. I have a story too, and I'm not perfect Patty. There are a lot of things that you all thought about Rosa in high school, middle school, college, all of this, but it really wasn't what you thought. And as I go through this process of We Are Not Invisible and highlighting other women and bringing other people on board with me, understand there is going to be a running narrative throughout the year where I will release things here and there to show you why I'm so good at this work and why I'm so passionate about this work and why I'm so passionate about Black women, Black girls, and why I'm so passionate about the movement itself. In closing, I do want to say this to that young lady who moved out of that house with her child and left her husband while he was in a drunken, passed out drunk. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you how you managed to plan and take your child, have help, have a safety plan, packed all your stuff up and left him the TVs, right? Left him his TVs and went about your business, because that is a woman who took her mental health and safety seriously. And she had the courage to say, I know he's gonna do a smear campaign. I know he's gonna be mad. I know all these what ifs or whatever. But she decided, I want to live. And I want more Black women in 2026 to make that decision that she made and make the decision that I made. See y'all later. Like and subscribe. I always put my handles in the comment section, and feel free to comment or have a conversation with me about anything I've talked about. Also, I'm looking for people to come on with me. I don't have a lot of money, so I may not be able to book, people at this outstanding rate. I'm just being honest, but I would love to sit on the couch with other Black women, other Black men, other Black people to hone in on their perspective about what my podcast and everything is about. Talk to you all soon.